Alright, we are actually going into the second game, guys. That was the first game of the series, so they did wait for us to finish. Thank you very much, guys. So we are going to go into the second game here on Xel'Naga Caverns. Broom is down 1 game right now to Red Alert, so he's going to try to recover here on Xel'Naga Caverns. Very good map for Zerg, very open, and very good way to get an expansion. And yeah, basically able to defend it pretty easily. Very strong push, though, we saw from our Terran hero, Red Alert, of course. He is spawning as the orange Terran here in the northern position, and in the south is the blue Zerg. There is Broom, so we'll see what he can make happen here. Is basically it's a pretty open map. He did have a really good start there, so we'll see which way he can go. I'm going to take just a second to see if I can fix the recording right here on the broadcaster. Because it is still showing that it's recording, so we'll just reset that really quick. And then we should be okay. As pretty much nothing is happening right now. It's strictly just the opening phases there, of course, of the game. So we'll select the TV and stop. And then now we'll start recording. Alright, so for anybody tuning on the own stream, there is a little bit of a delay at the beginning there. Sorry about that for anybody that's watching on YouTube, of course. It is a little bit more fluid. Broom is up, or sorry, he's down by 1 game right now. This is the second game of a best-of-3 series. Red Alert is leading right now and spawning in the northern position, as you can see there. So he's going to get his scout out early. I'm going to see that there's nothing up for the Zerg except for the fast expand. So Zerg's going to get that hatchery down on 14. Looks like he's going to get that scout out. Red Alert's going to have to react to that. He's going to react by throwing down a second barracks. It was the exact same play that he did the first game there. Double racks we saw on Blistering Sands. Very good push with SCVs and Marines. So he will do the same thing now, and it's going to be pretty difficult to actually to stop, as there's a spawning pool just being started right now for Broom. He did lose a lot of Zerglings in the first game there, pretty unnecessarily, I would say, but difficult to say because you need to deny those bunkers. You cannot let those bunkers get up outside your natural, and you had to do what you can do, but bring drones, bring whatever you can. And so there's 1 Marine out right now, more Marines coming rallied in. This isn't a complete wall. The Zerg still can get through there, but he's not going to try to get up the front there. Not a very good idea, as looks like Broom is getting ready to set up. No gas for Broom just yet. Going to get 2 queens, probably. There's the first one, and as soon as the expansion's finished, it's going to get the second one. He does see the bunker, though, so Red Alert's going to try to do the same kind of push there. 2 racks push. Very, very difficult for the Zerg to fight off, if he can fight it off. And this is a very good response here, Spinecrawler this time. If he can fight it off, he will be in a better position, though. This is pretty difficult for the Terran. Leaves him very light in units. 6 Zerglings do reach the front, trying to encircle the Marines. 3 Marines in an SCV there do get around, but they move a little too much there. So the Marines do scoot around. They do clean up all the Zerglings, and Broom is in trouble again. He needs to get this Spinecrawler finished as quickly as possible. The bunker's already taken pretty good damage. He did not kill the building SCV, so it is still constructed. Oh, he did actually. Yep, it is paused. There's the cancellation. Spinecrawler's up this time, so Broom's going to be okay for a little bit longer here. Second queen up as well on the main, so he's going to be in a better position here, a much better position here, as he is getting that extractor set up. I'm going to pull around 5 Marines out SCV. Lots of Zerglings pulling forwards. No metabolic boost, so a little too aggressive, though. You need to keep that natural alive. I don't know if he's trying to get us around. Would have been a good time to surround there. More Marines streaming out, though. He looks like Red Alert is going to close off that wall, but continue to produce Marines and get a command center of his own up. So no gas, really, for Red Alert either, I would say, for either player, but Broom does have the extractor finish, just transferring some workers right now onto that extractor, so Creep Tumor for Broom. He's going to opt to get that Creep Tumor before the second Larva Spray. Spinecrawler still his best mode of defense right here. I would try to pull that up a little bit and maybe try to make sure it covers both ramps, or even your main ramp there, as don't want to let anything by there. But the Marines have been pulled back. Quite a few Marines, actually, for Red Alert. He hasn't stopped producing Marines since he completed the 2 racks. Very, very solid, actually. You can see his mineral numbers are getting a little bit high. So he's going to start producing gas from both refineries. So very, very good. Metabolic boost, probably going to be started here pretty shortly as Zerg does reach 100 gas. There you go. Broom will get metabolic boost started. You can see he's getting his second extractor started there as well, and so he'll get mining from that pretty shortly. So it's a pretty good little setup Broom's got going there. He's trying to drone now. He's got a little bit of a lead, 6 drone lead right now. So hopefully he'll be able to hold into it as he's basically going up against a 4 racks here, 2 base 4 racks, as RedAlert is going to move that command center over very, very shortly. But primarily bio, and it's very difficult for the Zerg to counter until they get onto either a lot of roaches or at least infestors. Banelings are very, very required here. You can see that Baneling's nest just started for Broom, so that is the correct response there. Scan goes down, does see the Baneling nest, does check it to see what it is. So, ooh, Baneling's coming, so gonna have to be very careful how long and how you manage your bio. Banelings can be very effective against the bio army. Broom doing a great job getting his 3rd and 4th gas just started, so very, very good. A little weak in terms of army, but it looks like RedAlert hasn't really been producing much. He did get those 2 racks started and the tech labs. Stim and combat shields coming out. Concussive shells not really opt for here, not necessary as much. The ball again beginning to push forwards. Metabolic boost is done. Baneling nest is done, so it's going to be important to get a few Banelings out here. 5 Banelings actually coming up right now from Broom back at his base. So very, very good response. Layer tech is finished for Broom as well, so Baneling speed is the first thing to start. Very, very good response for Broom. Another spine crawler, also a great idea. Probably going to see a spire coming up, I guess. If it's just bio, that Spire tech, obviously Baneling, Mutalisk, very, very strong. Gas, pulls 1 SCV off gas by mistake to build that factory. You might have to reconnect that as there's only 2 on there. Not too big of an issue, but lots of barracks actually. Factory tech just started. Banelings, once they get the speed upgrade, the centrifugal hooks, I believe it. Yep, centrifugal hooks. It's going to be very difficult for the Terran, especially with just a really, really tight bio army to come back from. So we'll see if he can hold on as the Terran does push across midfield, clears out the watchtower. Going to push around now. Going to make sure he gets control of the center, but the creep you can see has already reached center field. Very good spread here from the Zerg hero Broom. He's going to come across there, scan out the creep tumors, kill 2 or 3 of them before anything happens. I would want to engage. Baneling's coming up the centrifugal, which just finishes, so those Marines are in a bad way right now. Human's being separated out, but the rest are just bombed to shreds. Number of Banelings left Banelings left. They are pulled away very nicely, so the entire bio ball of RedAlert has been cleaned up. Very, very solid use of Banelings there. At a very minimal loss for Broom, so very sweet. Spire tech almost finished for Broom here. You can see that's just finished actually. Evo chamber coming up. Siege tanks and siege mode coming up for RedAlert. So he's doing the standard kind of biomech build there. And double engineering bay for RedAlert. He's going to try to get some upgrades ahead there. Medevac coming, no add-on added for RedAlert. These supply depots creating a very good maze in the base of the Terran. Zerglings coming up around the side. You were sniped by the bunker there. Bunker's going to get the rest of those Banelings. Trying to roll Banelings in across the 2 loaded bunkers. Not the best. But they do get the bunker, and a few Marines get cleaned up there as well as Zerglings are pulling back. So not too bad, actually. RedAlert's having to rebuild that bunker. He is definitely on the defensive here as Mutalisk are coming out. You can see Broom has started his 3rd and 4th base, so he's got a very good macro game going on right now. The Terran hero is not able to do too much. He's forced to actually just continue to increase his production. He's losing a lot to those Banelings, actually, so if he continues to lose like that, it's going to be very difficult to recover in the later game. The more Marines and Marauders being lost now, the more difficult it is to fight back from that. So very careful when you're fighting like that. Broom is going to get that 3rd base saturated, or get the saturation going on that, as he's going to clear out his rocks. So very conscious, very good. Stop pushing Creeple on that right side. That might be a problem. He might need to get another creep tumor started here as he's slowly losing a little bit of control on the right side there. But now there's a number of Mutalisks on the field. Looks like 10 Mutalisks. So he's going to begin to harass RedAlert's base. RedAlert's setting up turrets frantically. He did scan to see the Spire and knows that there is Mutalisk Teku coming. So few Marines getting sniped here. A few more being pulled around. Forces a stim there, actually. So one Mutalisk. Actually, no Mutalisk lost. So just one, I think a couple of Marines, possibly that building SCV. Yep, you can see the turret was paused there. And more Zerglings coming out. So just trying to buffer this. Going to be Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk, Beeling, Zeeling, and Mutalisk. So pretty basic lineup. Red Alert's got the siege tanks now, so it's going to be very difficult to harass the front of Red Alert directly with the Baneling Zerglings. So he's doing a very good job at just taking the rest of the map. So he's pulling quite a bit ahead in terms of his food count. He's 10 in the lead right now. Worker count, he's got about only actually a 6-worker lead here, a 5-worker lead, almost dead even in terms of income, but his production is going to be quite, the Zerg's production is going to be quite a bit higher here as he is able to produce from 4 hatcheries right now and can continue to add onto that pretty freely as he's doing a very good job pushing out. +1 air weapons you can see as well are done. No upgrades for the ground just yet. You can see Carapace underway, so there'll be 1 armor pretty shortly. But more Banelings coming out, and they just become more and more deadly as more Marines are added here. So Marine Tank Medevac, the new MMM, or MTM, being set up there as it looks like he's only got the 1 factory and 1 starport producing. Rest are racks, so no Marauders, so he's given up on Marauders there, so it's just going to get into this Marine Tank Medevac, but these are highly susceptible to Banelings. The tanks are too close together. It requires a very good spread of tanks. They need to be, 3 or 4 spaces apart there, so that when the Banelings do come, they can cover each other, so something to be aware of for any future turns. Mutalisk are flying over there. The numbers continue to swell, so forcing the Marines to spread apart. Only a handful of Marines being left with the tanks. Now they're going to clear out the rocks a little bit. And going to have to keep those Marines mobile. These Mutalisk are able to harass quite a bit. As you can see, the Baneling numbers growing quite a bit. 44 Banelings, 64 Zerglings, and 18 Mutalisks. So Zerg's doing a great job of macroing here. He's got the right mentality. He is flying right over the Marines, though. Right-click fail right there as the gold base is going to go underway right now. This is undoubtedly going to be a planetary fortress and never going to die ever, so we'll see as the planetary fortress is started there. Planetary fortress in the middle of Xel'Naga Cavern is pretty broken. There's a Mutalisk kind of pincered in here. They're not able to do anything with any major effect here, so Mutalisk have to be very careful. Their numbers are dwindling a little bit. Scan goes in there just to see if there's creep tumors can be taken out. They can be. So he's going to take up 2 of the creep tumors, cut the creep in half here, so there's 1 just ahead there. Good spread continuing on the right side of the creep. I like that. A little bit of a macro fail. It's hard to keep up with some of the larva spray when you are doing that harassment with Mutalisks and whatnot. Infestation pit has been completed. No actual hive started just yet, and more +2 armor. Mutalisk not able to find a place to cut in. They did try to poke up here. Marines shut that down really quickly, so not able to find a place to attack there as Broom continues to push on. Doing a really good job, though, splitting up his Zerglings. Lots of Banelings out every time, and he continues to make more and more Banelings. I don't know if he is going to try to break this Terran. Eventually he will, I believe. I think with just enough Mutalisks, though, he should be able to get onto the base of the Terran there. He's trying to actually run by here. 1 Zergling gets stopped here. The other ones are put onto attack move. The Mutalisks do attack the worker line here of the Terran. He pulls his Marines back. The Zerglings are cleaned up as half the ball is moved back. I would like to see him continue to harass with the Mutalisk on the main. There aren't a lot of Marines here, and that many Mutalisks can do pretty significant damage with the +2 upgrade that they have. So very, very good idea. Hive tech started for Broom, so he's going to be able to continue with his tech upgrade path. Oh, here we go. Lots of Banelings coming in on this side. So many Banelings! And he will clean up the ramp here of Red Alert. Many Banelings left over, getting up onto the high ground. They are going to run right into the ball of those Marines, and a few Banelings are sniped there. 1 barracks goes down. Just trying to cut off the production right here of Red Alert. There's lots of Banelings out. They are kind of just parking around here, not really doing anything extra. Need to start sniping the supply depots, trying to take out the building engineering bay. That will take out the +3 weapons there. 2-2 right now, you can see, so he's trying to take on those engineering bases as best he can. Probably want to use the banelings on that to get the turrets or whatnot. The Mutalisk numbers have been severely reduced. He does get both engineering base, stopping the 3-3, which is very cool to see. Hold position used there as more Marines, more banelings coming in. That does blow up the factory and the tech lab, so pretty good damage done to Red Alert, but a lot more losses on the Zerg side. You can see there almost 3,000 more resources spent in that engagement than the Terran, but very easy to reinforce. Lots of minerals and brooms. He's been floating a lot of minerals, so he's able to reinforce that very, very quickly there. As it looks like he's going to reset up the tanks here and get set up on for a second push, although more Mutalisk, as soon as they enter the creep, though, more banelings on either side. Ooh, Mutalisk not being watched. 3 Mutalisks go down there with no gain. Can see that there is a base on the high ground for the Zerg. They are going to come peel around here. Banelings get right in there. They get most of the Marines. There's quite a few Marines in the back there, but the Zerglings are able to get most of the tanks. So a lot of the tanks cleaned up. Still a handful of Mutalisks left, but need to be reinforced here. Not enough to continue on. You can see +3 be coming out for the Zergling Banelings. Sorry, +2/+3 coming out for the Zergling Baneling, and Ultralisk Cavern was just finished. Greater Spire finishing as well, or starting up as well. So very good tech escalation path for Broom, although he will be successful with just Banelings and Mutalisk, I think, actually. As Red Alert has been reset, he's falling quite a bit behind in terms of his income, and needs to get a flank on here. He's waiting for some Banelings to get morphed in. Trying to engage the Marines, very difficult to do without some support. Only 2 tanks, but not able to clear that out. There is an SCV attacking the Spinecrawler. There we go. Queen stays alive to fight another day. Can start sniping these turrets with this ball of Mutalisk. 7 Ultralisk coming out. No Marauders out, so that's going to be very devastating. 7 Ultralisk is huge, especially given the upgrades that they take over from the Zerglings and the Banelings. So, going to try to stop this push up here as more Zerglings rally by those guys with no challenge. Ultras coming out. They are going to get attacked pretty good here. 1 Ultras is brought back onto the high ground, and Red Alert is going to snipe this, trying to get the hatch. Gotta get that Ultralisk in here. Going to lose a lot of drones as well as the hatchery. No, what is Broom doing? He's waiting. So Broom's going to give up the hatchery as well as a handful of drones. 2 more Ultralisks pop out there. They go to work on the Marines here, but aren't getting reinforced. Is Broom, I'm not sure what Broom's doing. He is selecting larvae, building larvae, but he just turned over 2 Ultralisk and the hatchery and a handful of workers there for no gain. He had a number of Banelings and a number of Ultralisk actually to attack, so a little disappointed with that that attack, but yeah, he undoubtedly will be able to go back to that base. It won't be a problem for sure. As he is engaging on the right-hand side here. Ultralisk and Banelings. Zerglings leading in there. Probably want to get the Ultralisk in first, as the Zerglings can kind of peel around the outside. Very big devastation here suffered on the hands. Red Alert, good games out. So it's a 1-1 tie. We're going to go to the ace match in just a second here, guys.